Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. You know, I would have much rather somebody have come into my house tonight and assault me repeatedly, punch me in the face with a fully cooked Thanksgiving turkey multiple times instead of having to watch tonight's SmackDown Live. And we are going to bring the hammer down on it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's SmackDown Live review and reaction show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me, and Black Friday is upon us, and we are joining in on the celebration as we are celebrating hitting our 1,000 subscriber mark with a Black Friday sale all our own. All you gotta do is go to teespring.com/stores/sledgehammer-tv. Use the discount code SLEDGE10 at the checkout for 10% off one of these two sweet-ass t-shirts to show your loyalty to the Sledgehammer Club. Show the world that you are a sledgehead and wear your colors proud, and spread the word as we try to continue to take over the world of YouTube. And you can help us by doing just that. Check the link in the description box or go visit the online store today. Use that discount code and get your shirt before Black Friday ends. It will be there for you guys. And after watching tonight's show, you have to believe that SmackDown Live did not even fucking deserve to win that tag team matchup at Survivor Series. If you're thinking about what we got at Survivor Series, you know, this is what I get. This is what I get for being a nice guy. This is what I get for coming and sitting here and telling you guys how good Survivor Series was and how much I enjoyed Survivor Series. Then we come to Monday and Tuesday and I get a 1-2 punch combo full of piss jokes and turkey punches. And cranberries being dumped on people's heads and little tiny men that look like hobbits pissing their pants. This is regular WWE TV. What we got at Survivor Series was so special. Doesn't it feel even more special now? This was a great show on Sunday, and then you always have that hope that maybe the WWE is going to finally turn the corner and follow up on some of the shit we seen on Sunday night. But they don't. They didn't follow up on anything. Half of the people we seen at the Survivor Series were not even on this show tonight. We didn't see AJ Styles, we didn't see Rusev, we didn't see Shinsuke Nakamura, we didn't have the Usos on the show, the team that actually won for SmackDown Live, the one team that was left standing in the one match that they actually were victors at on Survivor Series Sunday night, and they weren't on the show. But we got to see the New Day dressed up as fucking pilgrims. We get to see Big E sexually assaulting a turkey, licking it like a fucking fiend, fisting it, and then using it as a boxing glove to take out the tag team champions of the world. Does that sound right to you? Oh, it was all in fun. It's okay to have comedy. No, it's not. You know what? It would be okay if they did it the way they used to do it. Remember the days when they used to have the Thanksgiving food fight? Because everybody was in catering, from the top stars to the jobbers in the back, celebrating Thanksgiving because it was Thanksgiving week, and they'd have the turkey and they have all the mashed potatoes and everything set out, and throughout the show they would cut to the back, show this one and that one eating a little something, and then by the end of the night there's pies in people's faces and gravy down people's backs, and all kinds of madness would ensue. And that was okay, because at least in the interim we got wrestling, and we got good wrestling. And we didn't have the turkey food fight and the Halloween trick-or-treat fight and the Christmas tree death match actually have a part of a wrestling match and ruin the quality of the wrestling matches that are taking place. I hate comedy-based wrestling matches. The comedy in wrestling is for segments that do not take place in the wrestling ring. You've seen what was happening at the end of everything. Big E and Xavier Woods are falling all over themselves. They're slipping all over the fucking cranberries and mashed potatoes all over the place. The World Tag Team Champions, covered in fucking gravy and cranberries and pumpkin pie and nonsense. These are your champions. This is the kind of shit you do to Primo and Epico. Unacceptable. I hate comedy-style wrestling matches, and I hate this now annual tradition of these food fights in the ring. It's just so forced and nonsensical. Just like everything they're doing with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, once again, coming out of Survivor Series, had everybody talking. We had a glimmer of hope for Charlotte Flair, and when Charlotte Flair delivered her promo tonight on SmackDown Live, you seen like a twinkle in her eye. There was a little bit more presence about Charlotte Flair tonight. She seems to be a little bit more comfortable in this in-betweener role right now because she's not really a full-fledged heel. She went apeshit on Ronda Rousey, and then she gets the hero's welcome on SmackDown Live. Charlotte Flair is coming out to cheers, and they find themselves in this weird scenario where they're booking Charlotte Flair as a babyface, even though they want her to be this in-betweener. With all the momentum she had, if you really wanted to go full force with Charlotte Flair, booking her against the Iconics, who suck to high hell, suck the charisma out of the room, suck the excitement out of SmackDown Live every time they come out with a microphone, and it just didn't make sense, like, because of the position that Charlotte is in. She's gonna kick everybody's ass no matter what. It would have probably been better had you had Naomi come out and maybe be like, yo, girl, what's up with you, man? Why are you doing this? What's going on inside the head of Charlotte Flair? And then have her snap again and just attack Naomi. Let her have a match with Naomi and let her win, and that be the end of it. A back-to-back matchup with both members of the Iconics does nothing to tell the proper story, because the Iconics are the heels. So what are we doing? Everybody's going, well, Charlotte Flair turned heel. Apparently not. Apparently not. But she's in this weird craze, this in-between phase right now, and I don't know which way we're going to land on this, but they cannot copy what they're doing with Becky Lynch and apply it to Charlotte Flair. And that's exactly what we've seen happening tonight. They're trying to paint the queen as a badass. They're trying to make her a carbon copy of the man. Why not just go out there and have her dye her hair red and tell her to come out speaking with an Irish accent? Because that's what they're doing. You cannot use everything that happened on its own, everything that happened organically, and through the will of the fans itself with Becky Lynch, and take it and apply it to somebody else and expect that it's going to have the same exact effect. The reaction is not there yet. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm not truly behind it anymore. I loved the direction in which I thought they were going to go with Charlotte Flair, but now they're just going to try to make her be Becky Lynch 2.0. When she should just be the queen. Be herself. Be vicious, be malicious, be a cheat-to-win type wrestler. Be a quintessential heel, which she can be. That doesn't mean they can't be friends. Especially the way Becky Lynch is coming across now. And if you think that I'm crazy, just think about the fact that we didn't see Becky Lynch on SmackDown Live tonight at all. Not once. They could have very easily had her film a little cell phone thing or pre-film an interview segment so that they could have showed it tonight on SmackDown Live so that the fans could get to see the man. I wonder how many people went home disappointed that they didn't get to see Becky Lynch tonight. In one way, shape, or form. We know she's not going to wrestle, but that doesn't mean we couldn't have seen her come out. Maybe an interaction between her and Charlotte is what we needed to see tonight. Have them bury the hatchet, see where that's going to go. Instead, we have Charlotte Flair being placed in the role of Becky Lynch tonight. And Becky Lynch not being on the show at all. That was by design. Because they wanted tonight to be about Charlotte. And if Becky's on the show, it's not going to be about Charlotte. So they did what they thought they had to do. And it comes off as forced. It comes off as disingenuous. And you can't really buy in. Because she's just doing what she's seen Becky Lynch do. And she's just got the momentum coming off of what she did to Ronda Rousey. Which everybody loved and I still love. But now to see where the WWE is going to go with it makes me a little bit disappointed. Another thing that I'm a little bit on the fence about is this new crazy Daniel Bryan. You see, we had Charlotte Flair and Daniel Bryan pretty much going through the same thing right now. Daniel Bryan has flipped his lid. But Daniel Bryan and everything that he's doing is a copy of what NXT has done with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano as well. It's clear as day to me that Daniel Bryan watches the Golden Black show. And he's seen guys that he respects and that he loves as performers and sees a little bit of himself in a Tommaso Ciampa and a Johnny Gargano, who were both very loved and very over with the fans. And he's seen what they have been able to do and how they have elevated their game by going back to the heel character and just placing themselves and distancing themselves away from the fans, being a man amongst themselves, a man to their own island, so to speak. And Daniel Bryan is walking in those very same footsteps. It is not like the WWE to follow a model of NXT in any way. But while I enjoy the prospects of what is to come, I just see it as Daniel Bryan doing what is being done somewhere else. Can he pull it off? I absolutely think so. The look in his eyes tonight, when Daniel Bryan has that crazed look in his eye, he's compelling. And he delivered one of the best promos of his whole entire life tonight. And I liked what he had to say. How he was isolated in a hyperbaric chamber, breathing in pure oxygen, trying to get the healing to accelerate so that he could get back to the ring. And then he gets back to the ring and he gets those yes chants, and it was a great moment. But the fans had already moved on. And who did they move on to? AJ Styles. So now everything that we have been seeing in the last couple of weeks starts to make sense, at least when you start to think about the mind frame of Daniel Bryan and why he would be doing some of the things that he has done over the last 2 weeks. And I like it. What I don't like is that the WWE just reverts to ball shots like we saw on Survivor Series. It's like in order to be a heel, you have to hit people in the balls. There are other ways and other moves that you could use to get yourself over as a bad guy than just taking the easy way out and taking the low road, so to speak, and knocking a guy in the nads. There's so many other ways to do it. We've seen it so many times between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, and now we're doing it with Daniel Bryan. We have seen it with Tommaso Ciampa down in NXT. The low blow is the way to go once in a while, but when you're seeing it so often, it's just like, oh, here we go again, another guy busting people in the nuts. Why? Because he's evil. Ooh, let's see where they're gonna go with this new crazy Daniel Bryan. But I'm just a little bit waiting for a little bit more. I want to see where they're going to go with it. We know now that he is going to have his rematch with AJ Styles at the TLC pay-per-view. We don't know if there's going to be any sort of a stipulation added to that matchup. The Yes Movement is dead, and the new Daniel Bryan is alive and well. I'm kind of into it, but I have to wait and see where they go with it. Not that, the path, him following Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because both of those guys are doing great things, but he has a very high bar to reach. And if anybody could do it, I think Daniel Bryan can, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go with it. But I'm a little afraid because we're talking about the WWE. Look at the quality of the show we had tonight. It was absolute garbage. Do you expect them to do right by Daniel Bryan, even in this new character mold? I don't. And one of the other reasons why tonight's show was so frigging awful was because of how many people were not there. I just don't understand how you can have Survivor Series go down and have all these stories to continue to build or talk about, like, why didn't we talk to Shinsuke Nakamura about what happened? But no, we get to see Asuka and Asuka and Naomi in a tag team again, going up against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. We got time for them, but we don't got time for Rusev tonight. Come on. This show was terrible. There is so much hanging over from Survivor Series that they did not address tonight. It just turned me off to the whole entire show. It was lazy, it was slow, it was boring, and what we got didn't amount to a hill of beans. And I hated tonight's SmackDown Live. Let's talk about the show tonight. Charlotte Flair came down to the ring to start off this show. The fans were very grateful, chanting, "Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte." And yeah, we could say thank you to the Queen. It's fine. I'm with it. But then, as I told you guys, with everything that came to follow and Charlotte Flair's new attitude costing her 100 grand thanks to Paige. Paige here, I'm here to find you because what you did to the referees. She assaulted 5 referees and 5 was just too much, according to Paige. 4 is okay, but 5 was just too many. She didn't say that, but the way they worded it made it appear that way. She was like, well, you assaulted 5 referees and that was just too much. It's just too much, so I have to fine you $100,000. Charlotte Flair can pay a $100,000 fine in her sleep. She didn't really care. She continued this weird kind of attitude, had this one-on-one match with Billie Kay where she beat the snot out of her in very quick fashion and then challenged Peyton Royce to get in the ring because she's a badass and she's going to fight and take on the world. Where'd we hear this before? And then Peyton Royce would be defeated by Charlotte thanks to Billie Kay's involvement getting Peyton Royce disqualified. I really didn't care too much about any of this that was going on. We seen Rey Mysterio talking about his match tonight with Randy Orton, which I really didn't care. They wanted to build it up as a historic, epic, first time in 12 years. I don't care. I didn't care at all. We had The Miz come out with Miz TV, and this is one of the moments of the show that I hate the most. And The Miz wants to continue with this 2/3 of the best in the world, and Shane McMahon is 1/3 of the best in the world. He invites Shane McMahon out on Miz TV and tries to get him to form a tag team. He wants the best tag team in the world to exist. He wants it to consist of himself, The Miz, and Shane O'Mac. Let me vomit just a little bit more. Who thought of this shit? Because I hate every minute of this. And then The Miz is like, all right, we're going to have a warm-up match. Let me show you how good we're going to be. And he brings out 2 fucking idiots, right? Dante or Dane and Lane Bryant, or whatever the fuck their name was. What the hell is it here? Dane Bryant, the Bryant brothers. Where the fuck is it? I have it written here. Corey. No, Corey's Corey Graves. Fuck it, they're not worth the effort. They are not worth the effort. This was fucking awful. First of all, Dane Bryant. Dane Bryant. You don't think that sounds a little bit too close to Daniel Bryan? Dane Bryant. Why? Because Daniel Bryan is dead. The Yes Movement is over. He's moving on from the old Daniel Bryan. He's new Daniel Bryan now. So we're going to have Daniel Bryan and Dane Bryant. What? Who is coming up with the fucking names? What, do they got an app in the back that just is name generator and they put in a bunch of names and it just keeps coming up with shit? Why not come up with at least some Thanksgiving names? Call him fucking Johnny Appleseed or something. Christopher Columbus. Pocahontas' brother, Joe Cahantas. Who cares? Dane Bryan? Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely awful. And to make things even worse, Dane Bryant, the Fly, he had the Fly written on the back of his ass, so I assume his name is the Fly. He gets the win over The Miz. This is the type of shit we are watching tonight. Do you think we're going to see Dane Bryant again? I don't think so. And if we do see him again, it's only going to be for The Miz to absolutely take his head off. Why would they give a win on national television to a guy that's not part of the main roster? You can't give a fucking win to Andrade Cien Almas, but you can give a fucking win to Dane Bryant. You can't put fucking Rusev on the show, but you're letting rink-and-dink asshole win a match over The Miz and the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon out there, the guy can't even fucking move. This was awful. Everything about this segment was awful, and nothing made sense. And the fact that this idiot Dane Bryant got a fucking win on SmackDown Live, and I'm still waiting for Almas to get one, is unforgivable. R-Truth's walking around as the fucking gobbledygooker tonight, but Dane Bryant is the fucking all-star of SmackDown Live. Get the fuck out of here with this nonsense. Speaking of the gobbledygooker and R-Truth, the New Day had their fucking food fight against the tag team champions, and this was absolutely nauseating. Big E taking the turkey and just having his way with it. Very, very sexual innuendos, and it was just awful. It was making me gag, and it was making me want to throw my fucking turkey in the garbage. I got a turkey in the refrigerator waiting for fucking Thursday, and now I don't even want to eat it thanks to Big E Langston. Thank you very much, you disgusting, nasty, nasty man. This is what we gotta fucking watch on Tuesday night. Happy Thanksgiving, all. Let's watch Big E fist a fucking turkey. No, thank you. And then the New Day ends up getting the win. Who gives a shit? We seen the Big Show go through a table. This one was getting gravy thrown on him. There were cranberries and fucking peas all over the ring. The New Day win, and then they're falling all over their ass on the outside of the ring. Great. This is what you get for getting that one win for the SmackDown Live roster. We're not going to acknowledge it. You can come out wearing your 6-1 Pilgrim shirt and get the crowd chanting 6-1. It doesn't make a difference. We're not going to acknowledge it, and we're not going to give a shit. Your reward is to get covered in Thanksgiving trimmings. Go fuck yourself, tag team division. By the way, did you see on Raw? We made them a fucking piss joke. What did you think we were going to do with you guys in the SmackDown tag division? You think we give a shit? No. I'm surprised they weren't walking around with fucking pumpkins on their heads. Absolutely ridiculous. And the fans during this match that wanted to fucking chant, "We want turkey." I mean, I understand you're there to have a good time, but I will never understand why when bad things are happening, like Nia Jax getting pushed, or during the Roman Reigns initiative, or during segments like this, or segments like the Miz TV segment, why aren't we chanting, "This show sucks"? Like, why aren't we chanting things that would make them understand that we're not booing because you want us to think this is bad. We're booing because this is awful. Why not chant that? Why not chant, "Let's go home"? Why not chant, "End this match"? Or "Let's move on. Let's move on." Voice your displeasure. Don't play along into the fucking narrative of the show. Say what you feel. Try to get those chants over. "Let's go home. This show sucks." I don't know why that's not a chant. Especially with the way the shows have been over the last couple of years. Why the crowd in New York or Chicago or in LA don't get their shit together and tell the McMahons that this show sucks. That's the chant I want to hear. Not, "We want fucking turkeys." You kidding me? Unbelievable. Randy Orton, we would see backstage talking about Rey Mysterio. He's obsessed with the Rey Mysterio mask. I know I've seen this before, and it did happen about 12 years ago. And like I said, when Rey Mysterio wanted to talk about it, I'm not really interested, and I didn't care. Asuka and Naomi defeated Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, which is a no fucking brainer if you ask me. They're trying to sell some sort of a dissension between Mandy and Sonya. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see them at all. Absolutely awful. We then seen another promo for the debut of Lars Sullivan. We've seen the promo on Raw and SmackDown, so we don't know which show he's going to end up being on. I don't know if this is cluing us into the fact that he's going to be on both shows, and maybe the brand split is going to somewhat come to an end for once now that they have gotten past the Survivor Series, or if they're just not sure where they're going to put him yet and are teasing both audiences as to the fact that this guy might show up. But either way, by doing this, one of the shows are going to be disappointed when they do not get Lars Sullivan, who is an absolutely great talent from NXT. He could use a little bit more time down there, but if the WWE is smart, they will put him in the right places and do what should be done with Lars Sullivan. He fits the mold of this type of athlete that Vince McMahon absolutely loves, so we can be hopeful that the old man does the right thing and doesn't screw him up like he always does, but I have absolutely zero faith that that will be the case. We've seen Daniel Bryan come out, tease doing the yes chant, but didn't really. Just walks out to the ring. He wants to talk, like we talked a little bit about before, about how he spent his whole recovery over the last 3 years fighting for his dreams, and then his dreams will fight for him. And then he wanted to go and blame his dreams for punching AJ Styles in the nuts, which was a little weird. But I liked his facials, I liked his delivery, I liked the way he was going with this promo, so I was okay with it. I just am not putting my faith in the WWE to do the right thing